All right, so I'll never forget when I was in A school, I was in boot camp terms the RPOC of my division. And, division we called fleet, and the RPOC we called CO in A school. So it came time towards the end of A school where I needed to find my replacement. So I found my replacement and I was training the new CO, right? Telling him what to do, giving him the commands, guiding him. And, I'll never forget one day, we were all lined up. So this was the fleet, right? Multiple rows, everyone standing side by side. And the CO was in the front, and I was right next to him, and a couple of other people who had leadership positions. And, there were a few people that didn't like me. There was a type of people that talked crap about everybody else to make themselves look better. And, I didn't mind that. They can do whatever they want. But they're like, Kim, you need to go back in line. You're one of them now, And I was like, I guess you're right. But in my mind, I knew I needed to be in the front, helping the new CEO and then guiding people, right? Because I've been in A school for a very long time, so I knew a great deal compared to the people that were, in line. But I was like, oh well, I'll just go back in line. And there was an HT1. Hall Maintenance Technician First Class, Petty Office First Class. And throughout A school, he's seen the way I handle myself, I carry myself and do stuff as a CO. And I guess he took a liking to me and he said, Kim, come here. And I went up to him, I was like, yes, HT1. And he looked at me dead in the eye and he said, leaders lead from the front. In front of everybody. And he said, stand next to the CO. That's where you belong. And the reason why I'm telling you this, I'm not trying to brag or anything like that. It's because everybody is a leader. Everybody in the Navy, from my experience, is a leader. And what I mean by that, instead of just saying it, is everybody truly does play a part in terms of leadership in some aspect. To give you an example, I work with right about 13 people, right? For me, my leadership, I shine when there's a lot of work that needs to be done in a small period of time. That's where I shine. But my weakness, on the other hand, is necessarily paying attention to the quality of the work, right? Because I focus on quantity in a small period of time. But on the other hand, there's another individual that is weak in the quantity of the work, but is strong, is a leader in making sure the quality of the work gets done. And maybe not even in work sense, right? There's a person that is very social. She is outgoing. She makes people laugh. In a stressful environment, she makes people laugh. She makes people relax and enjoy the time. So she might not think she's a leader in that sense, but she is. Why? Because she is very social. She makes people laugh, right? And maybe not even social setting. I know one individual, when I go to work at 04 a.m. in the morning, I go to work and there's this always one guy. He says he's not the best worker, right? In terms of quality and quantity, he's not the most social person, but he says every morning, hey, I'm having a Bible study for 15 minutes before we get to work. For those of you who want to join me, you can join me, right? So in terms of religious sense, he is a leader. And every single individual that I work with, all the 13 people, they are a leader in some aspect, okay? And you might think, oh, I'm not a leader, I don't have any of those traits. But I promise you, you are a leader in some aspect, okay? It might not be religion, it might not be social settings, it might not even be work related, but you are a leader in some aspect, okay? I don't know you, so I can't really particularly say what your strengths are, but I'm sure your parents or your friends would know, right? You just ask them, hey, what do you think my strengths are? But going back to it, as HT1 said, leaders lead from the front. The reason why I tell you this is because I want you, the new generation of people that are joining in, to lead from the front. And whenever I am, mustered up, with my division group of people, generally the people who, don't want to be seen or, have a mild career in the Navy, in my opinion and from my observation, that really don't want to stand out, that really don't want to do much, or always in the back, or always the ones that are talking crap, like the individuals that say, Kim, go back to the fleet, go back in line, you're one of them now. Those type of individuals are the ones that stay in the back, try to not be seen, try to not stand out, try to, always the little man, what I like to call. And those people are, in my opinion, have a very mild career in the Navy. And the reason why I want you to lead from the front is because I believe that's the best way to get the most out of your experience, your time in the Navy. Whenever they say, hey, I need a volunteer, to say, oh, me. That's the type of person I am. It might not be a very glorious volunteer work like taking out the trash, but being a leader, right? And whenever you start moving up, making rank, it shines through. It truly does shine through. Okay? So I hope that piece of advice, that piece of experience that I gained helps you. And I always remember that HT1. And I always remember what he said to me, because he looked dead in the eye and he was honest, and he said to me, leaders lead from the front. And I'll never forget that. So I hope that helped and gave you some idea on how you should spend your time in the military. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great Navy day.